If you're new to the fitness space, you probably have heard that there are so many diets from all these different influencers that take steroids and live a very unhealthy lifestyle, and they're giving you diet advice that you try and follow, but ultimately you just don't make any progress at all. And that was me for a long time. And in this video, I want to save you from making the same mistakes that I did that honestly plateaued my gains and fitness for a very considerable amount of time. And if I can help you in this video and simplify things for you, then that's awesome. All right, let's get started. So there's all these different kinds of diets. There's a keto carnivore, there's the vegan diet, which I don't recommend. There's the vegetarian diet. There's that science-based bullshit diet that doesn't really help. And I've undergone experimentation with all kinds of diets, and what I found that I've learned on the internet from someone that knows what he's talking about, his name's Hamza, and he said something that goes around something like this. So when you look at a ingredients list, you see the ingredients, of course, and the rule goes something like this. If you cannot name at least 5 of the ingredients on the ingredients list, then you shouldn't eat it. Because if you can't name at least 5 of the ingredients, and there's like 20 other ingredients that you don't have a clue about, all these different chemicals and phosphates and weird bullshit that they put in the food, then you shouldn't eat it. Like, they could be putting rat poison in the food for all you know, or some weird fluoride in them, those little chicken nuggets that you like to eat. So by keeping this in mind whenever you're shopping or about to cook a meal or you're thinking of your next meal, it really helps filter out what's healthy and what's unhealthy. And the crazy thing is, a lot of healthy foods, like, you know what I'm talking about, those vegan whatever bullshit patties that they like to make. If you read the ingredients, I bet you can't even name at least one of the ingredients and understand what it is and what it does to the body. It has this long list of all these bullshit chemicals that we humans can't even digest. So be on the lookout for foods that are labeled healthy, but in reality, they're not healthy. So with this rule in mind, okay, so you now know that if you cannot name at least 5 of the ingredients and know what they are, you shouldn't eat it. Another rule that I like to keep in mind is to go for whole foods.
What I meant to say was single ingredient. So whenever I mention whole foods, I mean single ingredient foods, and I'll explain it later in the video.
For example, if I'm gonna buy a potato, I'm not gonna buy the pre-cut potato chips that are frozen for God knows how long in the freezer. I'll rather just buy the potato. Simple, right? If I want to get carrots, I'm not gonna get the frozen cut carrots within like some weird rice meal or whatever the fuck they use nowadays. I'll just go buy the carrots. So by keeping this whole food mindset, it makes it very simple to filter out what ingredients to buy. Just buy the ingredient. If you want to buy steak, go to a butchery and buy steak. Don't buy it from some superstore. I mean, you can if your budget's tight, but if you want something that's organic, I suggest going to the butchery for your meat. Another thing I'd like to recommend is shop at farmers markets. Reason being, they most likely don't use any chemicals or weird antibiotics in their chickens, cows, or whenever they're growing their crops or whatever, depending on the type of farmer. And you're also supporting a small business owner, and you can build a relationship with that said business owner. Plus, the food's gonna be healthier in general. And since you've made it this far, another tip that I would like to give you is, depending on what season you are in your life, let's say you want to focus on studying, schooling, business, your job, career, I'd recommend going on the diet known as the keto carnivore diet. And in summary, it's basically where you just eat meat, and the other things that you can have are like cheese, you can have some nuts, you can also have salt as a marinade, and you can have eggs. So that is if you're in a business season or, you know, just studying season. But if you're an athlete, then you're gonna want to have like carbs like rice, chicken, meals that are of that nature. Because if you're an athlete, you're most likely doing 2 workouts a day, or even 3, or sometimes even 4, depending on what sport you're in. So you're gonna need those carbs to give you energy throughout those workouts. But the one cost is your brain functioning won't be as clear. And if you don't believe me, I want you to do an experiment on yourself. So tomorrow morning, when you haven't eaten anything, you haven't drinking anything, I want you to eat a piece of meat. You'll notice that you'll still feel fasted even though you just ate a piece of meat. That's because you never have any carbs, and carbs actually hinders brain functioning because your body is more focused on digesting. I've tried this myself, and when I just ate meat in the morning, my brain functioning was great. When I had carbs first thing in the morning, my brain functioning was slower, especially throughout the day. That's it for today's video. Hope you learned something. You're obviously interested in my channel, and I would appreciate it if you click the subscribe button and hit the notification bell so that you don't miss an upload from me. Peace.